Peace. Lee, coming back at you on behalf of SLEmyers.com and also our online metaphysical store, L9shop.com. Alright, in this video, I want to talk about the concept of good and bad. Good and bad. This is something I still see a lot of people struggling with. Even people that are so-called advanced or spiritually mature, I still see them just kind of grappling with the idea of if something is good or bad, or just even using that in your vocabulary. And when you look at the concept of good and bad, there's many different angles that we could take with this, but for the sake of this video not being 20 minutes or so, I'm just going to highlight some just very important points. And I'm going to preface it like this. This information is going to resonate with you or not resonate with you. For the most part, according to like my subscribers on YouTube, I would say the majority of you probably won't get this concept, or you probably won't see any benefit in it. But for those who know, those in the knowing, that you understand exactly where I'm coming from. So when you look at the words good and bad, you have to see who told you what was good and bad. And if you look at the Kabbalion, the 7 universal laws, in order for something to be good, you have to know where it begins or where it ends. For instance, where does good begin? Where does bad begin? Where does good end? My point is, what tools can you measure good and bad? Like looking at a child, for instance, you can have 2 children. You can say one child is good and say one child is bad, but what denotes that child being good? What denotes that child being bad? Then furthermore, who told you that that was good? Who told you that that was bad? The simple fact of the matter is that the people that run this world, you call it the powers that be, the elite, the powers that were, call it whatever you want to call it. But back in the day, they made a construct of good and evil, which is a play off good and bad, or God and evil. God and the devil, good and evil, they're all synonymous. Good and God are basically the same words. You just put an O or take an O out. Evil and devil are the same words. You just add a D or take a D out. So my point is, the construct of good and evil, or good versus bad, has been something that's been played out for antiquity. You see it in mythologies, the quote unquote God versus the demon or the demigod or some sort of negative being. You see this template played out all the way to now. You see it in movies, the hero versus the villain. And if you notice, the villain is usually more powerful. Look at the movie Black Panther. Warmonger was really more powerful than Black Panther, but he was considered bad, so he had to be written off. But in a true fight, one-on-one, Black Panther, the good character, was getting his butt kicked or whatever. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just telling you that the idea of good and bad is man-made. And if you keep applying that to your everyday life, you're going to deal with polarity. Now, what do I mean by that? Whenever you say something is good, you automatically make something bad. In order for something to be good, something else has to be bad, or you wouldn't have good. Now, the deeper science and the true plus degree to the spot where you want to get to is where you don't see something as good and you don't see something as bad. You just see something that it just is. It is what it is. It's what it is. There's no good, bad. It just is. An example I like to use with this is as far as days. People say, oh, today was a good day, or ooh, I had a bad day. You know, based on my spiritual work and the things I've done, I don't view my life or view days as good and bad. I just say I have days. So since I don't have good days, I can't have bad days. Since I don't have bad days, I can't have good days. I just have days. That's a very important concept. Another thing too is something that's quote unquote good could be bad. According to most people, they say water is a good thing. But drink water and don't take a breath and continuously drink. Eventually you will drown yourself. Same with air. Air is considered good. We have to breathe in air, breathe in that prana or whatever. You breathe in air without exhaling, eventually you will blow up. My point is, too much of a quote unquote good thing can turn bad as well. Food, if you eat a bunch of chocolate cake is good. but it can have a quote unquote bad ending. Vegetables on the flip side are not too much appealing to the palate if your palate is untrained. If you eat a bunch of vegetables, it's not gonna be good for you, quote unquote. It's gonna taste bad, but it has a good benefit or whatever. So we can go on and on with these analogies. Like I said in the beginning, the information is gonna resonate with you or not resonate with you. But based on my observation, I still see a lot of people trapped in a paradigm, in a polarity of good and bad. So it's my will that this video resonates with you and makes sense. So this has been Ali. You want to find out more information about myself and what we do, be sure to visit my main website, salimyers.com. If you're wanting to work with me one-on-one or in a group setting, not one-on-one, but you want to work with me in a group setting, highly suggest that you check out my flagship program, Spiritual Mastery Accelerator. You can find out all the information at spiritualaccelerator.com. So until next time, this has been Ali. Peace.